Once upon a time, in the village called Owo in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria, there was a young, beautiful widow who had twin girls. The first twin is called Taiwo, and the second twin is called Kehinde. The young mother did everything possible to bring up her children, and despite the absence of their father, they lacked nothing. They were always together in each other's company, peaceful children, adorable, and were happy. They were the envy of a lot of children in the neighborhood, but most of the time they kept to themselves, gisting, playing, doing house chores, and generally they were tagged the happy twin because the rate at which they enjoyed each other's company was studied and envied by other members of the peaceful community. Taiwo and Kehinde grew up with their mom, learning everything that is expected to be learned as girls. They went to the stream together. They learned the art of making things together. Their mom was the first teacher, their first physician, their first everything, as these children always enjoyed the exceptionary relationship and the bond that existed with them. Their mother would not even leave them to go to the stream to get water alone. She was 100% present in her children's life. In fact, at the point, she was advised to go and get married as a young widow. But she said she won't do that because it won't give her the time for her children. The twins grew into beautiful women, and Taiwo got married in a very colorful ceremony. As at the time Taiwo got married, when her husband asked for her hand in marriage, Kehinde was yet to get a suitor. And this got people talking because a lot of people thought that they were going to get suitors at the same time and even probably get married on the same day. But this was not to be. Taiwo's womb was blessed and she started having children in quick succession. Her husband, always supportive, also was there for her as she brought forth children into the world. But there was a snag somewhere. She wasn't happy that her twin sister, Kehinde, was still unmarried. About 10 years after Taiwo got married, Kehinde found a suitor and it was time for her to get married. Everyone was happy for Kehinde and she rejoiced because her own time has come. Getting married 10 years after her twin sister got married was not easy because as at that time in the olden days, women got married quite early. As time went by, Taiwo had more children. In fact, she has 6 children in all. She was a very happily married woman. She had boys and she had girls, and she was fulfilled in her marriage. However, as happy as she is, she still had this sadness that envelopes her when she thinks about her sister who was yet to even conceive a child. Her sister went into depression because she would say and cry that she had waited too long to get married and now in the marriage still awaiting a baby. In African setting, it is almost like automatic. When you get married, the next thing that is being expected is to have a child. Kehinde became a very miserable young lady. She'll cry to her mom, shedding tears from her heart, shaking words of a pained, barren woman. A lot of people started having conversations in the community about why Kehinde found it very difficult to get children. And some would even joke and say everything about Kehinde is always delayed. Delayed marriage and delayed childbirth. Her mom was a stronghold. Her mom was a support. And she was scared that her husband would not get another woman. Because in African setting, it is almost like a taboo if you don't have children in a marriage. She tried to be strong amongst her peers, and they give different kind of advice to her on how to go about it. Most times she just acts indifferent, but whenever she gets behind closed doors, she becomes very broken. Standing tall in the midst of this is not easy. However, for Taiwo, Taiwo was the envy of her friends and for the other young ladies in the community. Because Taiwo, despite having 6 children and having a happy marriage with a good, responsible husband who was doing very well, was one woman who everybody prayed to be like. In those early years, having a lot of children is a pride for any woman. How much more having 6 children? There are times when they will have family functions and festivals in the village. They will both look, Taiwo and Kehinde will both look gay and happy. Their mother also well dressed and well taken care of. But anytime they had their main moments, they always broke down with hot tears. They shared this sadness together. They shared this period of loneliness together. Now, Kehinde decided to take some measures to go for different rituals of childbearing. Some of these rituals shall she decide to go for as the support of her husband, but she breaks down at almost every point. And she has to be begged, she has to be cajoled to cooperate with whatever ritual is being done. She always had the dream to carry her own baby. And there was a time she said she doesn't mind having the child in the morning and the child passing away in the evening. That was how desperate Kehinde has become. Most times when she has such dreams and she wakes up a very broken and humbled woman. She'll run to her dear mother, and her dear mother will pray for her, saying, Bibi ni mo bí ẹ, ìwọ náà máa bí tiẹ̀. In the community and in the language, what that means is, I gave birth to you, and definitely you will have your own children. She still found succor, but this was not the Kehinde that everybody knew. She still went further to go for different sacrifices, sometimes out of the village. She would travel different miles to meet different people who would provide and make different concoctions for her to take. That was how broken and desperate she was to have a child. Her sister and her mother and even her own husband also gives her the support she needs, but it wasn't funny anymore. Sometimes she will go to her twin sister, they will pray and called on Orisa Ibeji. Orisa Ibeji is the god of twin. They will cry, comfort each other, appease the Orisa Ibeji. That as Orisa Ibeji remembered Taiwo, who had 6 children, that it should also remember Kehinde, who was still waiting to get pregnant. Taiwo, sensing that her twin sister is becoming very miserable, decided to do something. She organized with her mom and handed over one of her babies, her last child, to Kehinde, her twin sister. She said, "My child is your child. I have 6 children, and there's nothing wrong if I give you one of my children to take as yours. This is to make you happy and to take away the shame of barrenness. And we hope that Orisa Ibeji will eventually remember you." Kehinde was happy and decided to nurture and take care of the baby her sister gave to her. Not too long after, Kehinde got pregnant and she became the envy of everyone. Other women came from far and near to confirm if Kehinde was truly pregnant. In fact, she was known as the longest barren woman in the community. People came, prayed for her, brought different stuff for her, and her husband also was happy that finally God has answered their prayers. Kehinde put to bed, and the whole community rejoiced in happiness. In fact, all the women in the community, both young and old, made it a grand event that finally Orisa Ibeji has answered Kehinde, and after almost a decade and more of marriage, she finally had a baby. It was a bright, colorful event. And as you can see, their proud mom was the happiest grandmother ever. The beautiful smile, the joy that they've always shared in their childhood returned with the sprinkle in their eyes and the lush on their cheeks, with their skin glowing with happiness. And finally, they've now become one again. They shared the pain together. They were there in the very turbulent journey of Kehinde's barrenness, and still together. And their mother said, "Orí tí Taiwo gbé wáyé, ó yàtọ̀ sí ti Kehinde," meaning the destiny of Taiwo is different from Kehinde, and that's why their life patterns and paths are different. What is the moral of this story? The moral of this story is the times of joy will come, the times of sorrow will come. But the people that are truly yours will stand by you and try everything to wipe away your tears. And that truly, tough times never last, but tough people do. So perhaps you're a woman expecting and waiting to have your own child. Believe, and yours shall come. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.